Officer Daniel Hayes had always believed that being a police officer wasn't just about enforcing laws. It was about loyalty, courage, and protecting those who couldn't protect themselves. But to him, that didn't just apply to civilians. It applied to his partner, his best friend, his shadow, a German Shepherd K9 named Rex. For over 5 years, Daniel and Rex had patrolled the streets together. They were more than partners, they were family. From tracking down criminals to comforting lost children, Rex had been Daniel's rock, always by his side, always ready to put himself in danger to protect others. They had been through everything together: high-speed chases, dangerous standoffs, long nights in freezing temperatures. But nothing could have prepared Daniel for what was about to happen. It was supposed to be a simple call, an alarm triggered at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. No backup, just a routine check. But as soon as Daniel and Rex arrived, an unsettling feeling crept over him. The place was too quiet, too still. The air was thick with an unshakable tension that sent a shiver down Daniel's spine. He had learned to trust his instincts, and right now they were screaming at him that something was terribly wrong. Daniel gripped his flashlight and signaled for Rex to take the lead. The dog's ears perked up, his nose twitching as he caught an unfamiliar scent. Then he growled, a deep, guttural sound that sent another chill through Daniel. Something was wrong. Then, out of the darkness, gunfire. Daniel barely had time to react before Rex lunged forward. The shepherd let out a heart-wrenching yelp as he collapsed to the ground. Daniel fired his weapon, but the attacker had already disappeared into the shadows. The echoes of the gunfire still rang in his ears as he dropped to his knees beside his partner. "Rex!" Daniel's voice cracked as he pressed his hands against the wound in Rex's side. The dog whimpered, his dark brown eyes filled with pain. Blood seeped into his fur, staining Daniel's hands. His partner, his best friend, was fading before his eyes. The nearest vet was miles away. His radio was broken. His patrol car had been shot at and wouldn't start. There was no time to wait. So Daniel did the only thing he could. He lifted his injured partner into his arms and started walking. The road stretched endlessly before him. Every step sent jolts of pain through his exhausted body, but he didn't stop. He couldn't. Rex whimpered softly against his chest, his breathing shallow. "Daniel, VO. Hang on, buddy, I got you." The wind howled around them, biting into his skin. His arms burned from Rex's weight, but he held on tighter. Every muscle in his body screamed at him to stop, to rest, but he refused, because he owed Rex this. He thought of all the times Rex had saved him, chasing down armed criminals, sniffing out dangerous explosives, waking him up on nights he had fallen asleep at his desk after long shifts. Rex had never given up on him, so Daniel wouldn't give up on Rex. He kept walking, mile after mile. His boots scraped against the gravel. His breath came in ragged gasps, but still he pushed forward. The weight of his best friend grew heavier with every passing second, but he didn't slow down. Then, just when his legs were about to give out, he saw it, a gas station up ahead. Summoning every last ounce of strength, he stumbled forward, kicking the door open. "Help, please, help me." The clerk, a middle-aged woman named Linda, froze in shock as she saw the bloodied officer carrying an injured dog. "My God," she whispered, rushing to the phone. "I'll call a vet." Daniel collapsed onto his knees, gently placing Rex on the floor. He cradled his head, whispering soothing words as Rex whimpered. He felt utterly helpless. The one time Rex needed him the most, all he could do was wait. Within minutes, the wail of sirens filled the air. Dr. Emily Lawson, the town's veterinarian, rushed inside, her medical bag in hand. She knelt beside Rex, her fingers pressing gently against his wound. "He's lost a lot of blood. We need to get him to my clinic, now." Daniel didn't hesitate. Before she could even finish, he was already lifting Rex again. "Lead the way." At the clinic, Daniel paced back and forth, his heart pounding. He had never felt so helpless. Every passing second felt like an eternity as he waited for news. Minutes stretched into hours. Every time the door creaked open, his heart jumped into his throat. Finally, Emily stepped out, wiping her hands on her scrubs. "Emily, VO. He's stable. The bullet missed any major organs." Daniel's knees nearly buckled with relief. He rushed inside and knelt beside Rex's sleeping form. "Daniel, VO. You scared me, buddy." Rex let out a soft sigh, his tail thumping weakly. For the first time that night, Daniel allowed himself to breathe. Days passed, and Rex began to recover. Daniel stayed by his side the entire time, refusing to leave until he knew Rex was going to be okay. When he was finally strong enough to stand, the entire police department gathered to welcome him back. Officers clapped. some wiping away tears as Rex limped toward them, tail wagging. Chief Anderson's voice echoed in the background. "You're a hero, boy." But Daniel already knew that. Rex had always been a hero. As Daniel sat beside his loyal companion, he thought about everything they had endured together, the fear, the pain, the exhaustion. It had all been worth it, because in the end the love between a K9 and his handler was unbreakable. And no matter what, Daniel would always carry him, just like Rex had carried him through the hardest moments of his life, because true partners never leave each other behind. And as Rex licked his hand softly, Daniel knew they had many more years ahead, together, stronger than ever. From that day on, every officer in the department knew the true meaning of dedication and sacrifice. Rex became a symbol of unwavering loyalty, and Daniel's story spread far beyond their small town. People across the country were moved by his determination to save his partner, proving that sometimes the greatest acts of heroism happen not in battle, but in the quiet, desperate moments of love and loyalty. Their journey had been one of pain, hope, and triumph, a story that would be remembered forever.